Did you know that Outlook can automatically add your contact information at the end of an email? That's called an email signature, and you can have multiples. And I'll show you how to make those today on Tuesday Tech Training. Hello, and welcome to today's Tuesday Tech Training. My name is Jennifer Stewart. I'm the owner of Gateway Productivity, and I'm a tech and productivity trainer. Today on Tuesday Tech Training, I'll show you how to create email signatures in Outlook. And if you're not familiar with what that is, an email signature is when you can put set information, whether that is some text or whether that is your contact information, into a saved, basically template. They don't call it a template, but that's basically what it is. And you can plug that right into emails. And most people will use this for the contact information, and they'll have it automatically appear every time that they create an email. You can decide whether you'd like to turn that on or off. Some people will put specific text that they use on a regular basis into a signature, and you can have multiples. So if you have a certain paragraph that you always write, you could use it that way. But again, most people will use this for their contact information at the end of an email. If you have multiple organizations you're part of, or if you would like to have a personal signature and a business signature, you can do all of those options. We'll start this tutorial in our inbox. The easiest way to get to your signatures is by starting a new email. So let's do that. We're going to click here to start a new email. And then your signatures area is right up here. It's this icon. And if you don't have your ribbon, it's under message and then signature. As you can see, I don't have anything above this line because I don't have any signatures yet. So I'll choose signatures here. It will take me to the area where I can create them, edit them, and delete them. The way we start a new signature is by clicking this new button right here. It asks us for a name for the signature. As a reminder, we can use this for specific text that we want to put into an email, or we can use it for our actual signature, which is typically our contact information. I'm going to start by doing my personal signature because that will be the most simple. So we'll call this personal and we'll click on OK. And you can see nothing really happens except that personal comes up here. But now you have all of these options down here that were grayed out before. So we can click in here and I'll put my contact information. As you can see, since this is my personal signature, I want it to be very simple. So I'm going to leave it just like this. I don't want to put anything else in there. And now what I want to do is decide if there's a specific email address I want that associated with. Now, for those of you who only have one email address coming into Outlook, this doesn't really pertain, but if you have multiple email addresses that are bringing in your emails into Outlook, those will be listed right here. And you can see I have 3 of them. Let's say the second one is my personal email. What I'm going to choose now is that I want this to automatically appear on new messages. That's what I'm doing here as I'm saying on new messages, I want my personal signature to appear. And then this is if replies or forwards, if you would like your signature to pop up on those. A lot of people don't have it come up with those because if you've started a conversation back and forth with someone, they may already have your contact information, but you can choose to have that automatically show up there. Now I can see that this is going to always show up for new messages, replies, and forwards for this email account. And I'm going to save that. And you know that it finished saving because save is now grayed out. Now I'll click OK. And nothing appears in here because now we're in the middle of an email. And so it hasn't had a chance to add that signature. So I'm going to cancel this one out. And no, I don't want to save those changes. But now I want to make sure I'm in the right account to have it automatically pop up for that. So that was this Organize Your Success account. And I'm going to start a new email from here. And now you can see my signature pops up automatically. Now we'll do a more complicated signature that is for my business. So I'm going to again start a new email, go to signature. Now you can see that the personal one shows up. So I could automatically put that in this account. If I was sending a personal email out of this account, I could put that signature in there. but I actually want to go in and add a new one. So we'll go back to signatures to get our settings box, and we're going to create a new one as we did before. I'm going to call this business, and I'm going to click OK. You can see what was there before disappeared because that was the personal one. Now I'm working on business, so there's nothing here yet. So now I'll add my contact information. For my business signature, I'd also like to include my picture. So the way I'll do that is with this little icon here. You can see you have your typical formatting, bold, italics, underlined, all those types of things. Here you can change the color of certain parts if you'd like to. If I wanted to make my phone number blue, I could certainly do that. And you can see it shows up blue. And then here we can add a business card. That's if you needed to add someone else's information. And then here is picture. And this over at the end is to add a link. So I can make this guy right here a link. We'll do that before we add the picture. You can disregard all of this information. We're looking for it to say existing file or web page. So it's looking for a file if you wanted to do that, but you most likely want the web page option. So you're going to type that in the address bar. And for this, I'll go ahead and put the www on there. And it remembers something that I had previously put in there. So I will edit that to be the appropriate website. And now we have that. And you can see now it's added the link. And I'm going to take the color back off of the phone number because it makes it look like a link as well. So I'm going to go and change that back to the automatic, which is black. So now we have our link. Now let's add that picture. So that's this other icon here. Once I click that, it's asking me where on the computer I want to find that picture. So I will navigate to that location first. Once we get to the folder that has the picture, we'll click on that and then click on Insert in the bottom right corner. And you can see it pops the picture right in there. If the picture is the size that you want, you can leave it as is, and then you can click Save to finish your signature. In my case, I have a couple changes I want to make. I want a little space before the picture, so I'll click on the line before the picture and hit Enter, and that gives me a little extra space. And then also I want to resize the picture. If I click on this and then do a right click on it, you should have this menu that pops up. And I want to choose this picture option. This is to format the picture. When this box pops up, most of these things you don't necessarily need to worry about. If you need to crop your photo, you can do it here. You can play with these and change the space that it cuts off on the left, right, bottom, and top. I want to actually change the size of the picture. So I'll go to the size option. A nice thing about Outlook is it gives the option to lock the ratio. And so that means whatever I change up here, the corresponding number that you have at the bottom will change with it so that it stays the same size. And this can really help to keep your image from looking really weird. This is often a trial and error. So I'm going to take this down. I know I want it probably half as big as it is. So if it was at 2.6, let's try 1.3 and see how that does. Click OK. Perfect. Now it fits the way I want it to. I'm going to scroll and look at it. It almost all fits on the screen together, so it's small enough for me. That's the way I want it. And I'll click Save. And now my progress is saved to this point, but I still need to decide which email account this pertains to. For this example, we'll use the Gateway Productivity at Gmail as my business account. And then I want my business to show up, my business signature to show up for that email on new messages and on replies and forwards. And now that I have that all set, we'll click in here so that it lights up the save option, and I'll save it once more. Now I'll click OK. And again, remember, we're in an email already, so it can't add it just yet. So we'll cancel this one out. And we'll go, let's make sure we're in our Gateway Productivity at Gmail and start a new email. And now it has my business signature. If for some reason I didn't want to use my business signature on this specific email, I can go up to signatures, change it to the personal, and you can see it removes the business signature and adds in the personal one instead. Now we'll do an example of using email signatures to put a paragraph of text into an email. We'll start the same way with a new email and then going to signature. And I'll choose the signatures option. This new one I want to call consultation. And then once I click OK on that, I have a new wide open box here, and I will type my text that I want to insert into emails on a regular basis. Now that I have my paragraph of text, I want to add a link to this because I'm talking about people going out to my calendar to schedule a time for a consultation. So I want this part right here to be a link. As a reminder, we'll go over here to our little world to create our link. We can ignore all of this. That's if I wanted to connect to a file. I want to put the web address. I've gone and copied that already. So I'm going to paste that in and then click OK. And now that becomes a link. For this example, I do not want this to automatically show up in any of my email accounts. I want to choose when it gets added. So here I'm going to not worry about filling any of this out. You can see this is still set with what we did before, that gatewayproductivity@gmail is business and business. So for this one, I'm not going to tie it to anything. I'm just going to save it. I'll leave that as is, and consultation is not tied to any of my accounts by doing that. When I click OK and close out of here, now when I go into a new email, you can see it still keeps it as the business because we didn't make those changes. We didn't make consultation the automatic one. The thing that you want to remember when using signatures for a paragraph of text, only one signature can exist in an email at a time. So that becomes a problem if you need to keep your business signature or your personal signature at the end. When you add that consultation text, it's going to take this signature away. So one way that you can get around that is, let's cancel this one out and start a new one. I could instead go into the signatures, go to my consultation, and just copy this, and then come back out and paste it in here. So that's the way you can still use it if you need to keep another signature in there. Now we'll look at what to do if you need to edit a signature. We'll get in the same way as usual, click on the new email and then go to our signatures. We'll choose the one we want to change, and let's say for personal, I need to add an additional phone number. I'll go in here and I can add my phone number, and then I can save just as usual, and there shouldn't be anything else that I need to change. When I click OK, we could go test this. That signature was tied to the Organize Your Success account. So I'll go here, click new email, and you can see it now has the second phone number on there. Lastly, we'll talk about how to delete a signature. We'll start in the same way, new email and signatures. And let's say I want to get rid of that consultation one. I've decided I don't want to do it this way. So I can go in here and just click the delete button. Here's also where you can rename if you need to. We'll delete this. It'll ask us once more if we want to delete it. We'll say yes, and it disappears. A bonus tip is this second tab up here, the personal stationery. This is where you can play around with the look and feel of your emails. You can have a specific theme that looks a different way. So let's look at some of these different ones. You can see how this changes. It can put a background on your email. It can change your bullets. It can change your different styles of font and links. There's all different types of options here. So you can just play around with it and see what you like and don't like. Not everyone uses these. In fact, most people don't. But if you want to stand out, sometimes this can be a good way to do it. The main thing to remember about Outlook signatures is that they're going to save you time so that you don't have to type the same thing over and over again. And that's the whole purpose behind this. It makes you more productive and more efficient. Have you had a light bulb moment from this training? If so, please let me know in the comments below. You can also put questions down there and I will get back to you as soon as I can with the answers. You can also give the video a thumbs up, or you could share it with someone you think could benefit from the information. And be sure to subscribe by clicking the red button below. Once you do that, a bell icon will show up. If you click on the bell icon, you'll receive notifications each time a new video is posted. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.